Alright, so this is me again, and as I told you before, oh yes, big ups to Ted Gunderson. The man finally got assassinated by the government earlier this year, but they did not assassinate him before he released a beautiful segment and told about, a very knowledgeable man, told about his career as being the leader of the FBI. Now he's an ex-leader. Now he's assassinated. But he told his story about being inducted into the FBI, becoming the leader of the FBI, and then retiring from the FBI, getting the most productive FBI agent award after he retired. I guess that was to shut him up, but he does not. He spoke out. He told about the things that, well, he didn't tell about the things that he did, but he told about the things that the FBI as a whole did, that the CIA as a whole did. He said that they all worked together, and he's got the documents to prove it. You should just YouTube Ted Gunderson and his 9/11 Truth video. It's about an hour and a half long, but it's nothing but him talking, and he will not bore you, and it's all different and relevant information that all comes together. And so big shout outs to a dead man, died earlier, was assassinated earlier this year. And you should listen to what he has said on these videos, because even though he's been assassinated, we have not yet been assassinated. So as long as there are true humans in the world, there's reason to be fearless, and that's why we must be fearless. We must be like God, for if we are true to ourselves, true to our nature as human beings is to love and cooperate with other human beings. Now when it comes to animals and plants, we are to rape and torture but those have repercussions, and we have found out, like countless civilizations before us have found out, that you cannot do such things to plants and animals. You must nurture plants and animals like you do your fellow humans. But to come back to the point of human to human contact, it's all based on compromise, and compromising is about compromise is only compromise if all those in the interaction agree, or all those in the interaction agree to disagree. That is true compromise. It is not compromise if one person enforces their ideas on another person. No, if one person forces their ideas on another, that is called rape, R-A-P-E. And that is what these Akatsuki have been doing to everyone on this world. As now the last place is unbreached by this organization, Illuminati, Akatsuki. You can call it whatever you want. I call it Akatsuki. They're now finishing off Afghanistan, or Afghanistan as you may know it as, and Tajikistan will be finished after the resistance in Afghanistan is finished, because Tajiks live in peace, and Afghanis are warlike people, but even they have values. And so even though their way of life revolves around war, that is why the Akatsuki, or the Illuminati, or the G20, or the G7, whatever the hell you want to call them, that is why they are going in there and trying to, they haven't bombed them yet. See, they haven't bombed them because they're not peaceful people. I can say this because I know these people. They're not peaceful people. They're warlike, but they still have values, and their values are human. You see, it's just they're more warlike than any other people in this world. But they are not evil. That is to keep in mind. They are not evil. They do not wish anything evil upon anyone. They do not enforce their wills upon anyone. They go for war because they don't really know how to agree on anything, so they always disagree. they agree to disagree, but they never actually agree on anything, so they're always in war. But they're never evil. They never impose their ideas on others, and so the U.S. hasn't bombed them yet because they want to rape them and make them come to their side. So they will spread their warlike nature, which is a fantasy, because they do not preach. Afghanis do not preach. Afghanistan people do not preach. They only abide by their own rules. They don't try to impose their will on anybody. But the foolish Akatsuki, the foolish Illuminati, the foolish G20, all the same. These foolish, I would not call them human, but some people think that they're human. These fools, they that run the world currently. Well, I wouldn't say run, but rape it. They haven't bombed Afghanis because they think that if they rape them enough, that they will come to the side of G20 and will be able to spread their warlike ways upon every other nation of the earth. And that is not true. All Afghanis will tell you that they don't want to spread their views upon each other, upon other people. I mean, they don't really have the views of war. It's just in their blood, and so it's a genetic thing. So they cannot spread it. Unlike AIDS virus, which was a government sponsored thing that finally erupted in Atlanta, which is a government capital of Akatsuki, but you'll have to research that if you want to find out, or just Ted, the ex-leader of the FBI can tell you that where the G20 capitals are, which are not the same capitals as we may think, but so Tajikistan, which is above Afghanistan, their people are, I guess you would say, more peaceful people. They are just as civilized as Afghanis. Afghanis are civilized, but Tajikistan's, in their genetic makeup, they're peaceful. They always love to compromise. They always love to share, and that is why there's this dam. I was talking to a friend in Tajikistan the other day, and there's this dam that was halfway built by the Soviets, and now the Tajikistan government, which is propped up by the G20, which the G20 corporations give Tajikistan government the money to continue to rape their country, but they are trying to finish up this Soviet dam now for whatever reason. I mean, it hasn't even been worked on since the Soviets invaded their country. In 1987, I believe, it was stopped, but now all of a sudden, a few years ago, they said that they wanted to begin it again, to finish it. It's halfway complete. The dam is halfway complete, and now they want to finish it. Well, this is a most horrible idea, and they're imposing their will upon the people. They are like the mafia is the Tajikistan government of Tajikistan anyway. They are going house to house and demanding this. You can look it up, it is true, demanding 50% of all wages from the Tajikistan people. I mean, that's worse than the empire of the Roman Empire, when they wanted 10% of all your wages, called tithes. I mean, that's silly enough, and that's caused much grief. But this is 50%. These people don't even really use money, but they want 50% of all their money, and they will finish this dam so that they can control these people, because the dam is full of water, you see, and so they can put whatever they want inside of this water: lead, mercury, poison, I don't know, drugs, anesthetics, whatever you want. The government has control to just put it in there, and the people, they don't have efficient purifying methods, so they must eat what the government feeds them, and this is a form of control by Madar, the one and only leader of Akatsuki. He is presumed, you would assume, to be still alive if you were wise, and he is a knowledgeable, I guess you could assume to call him a man. He's the leader of Akatsuki. He's the leader of these G20 governments, and a lot of people that are in the FBI and the central banks that have actually spoken out against these people, these G20 corporations and the leaders, quote leaders, these presidents of these corporations. But it is really the military governments that is in charge of these countries. And what is the top is one man, Madara. And he is in charge. And there's one man that says he is a ex central banker, and he's speaking out, but he says that all these nuclear bombs are going to be used from Russia to all over North America, from the United States, and to create chaos for the military states, the martial law, as you put it. And he says that China is not a part of this. That's foolish. Tajikistan is right next door to China, and they're finishing their dam to better control their people. Their people don't really even use money. They all grow their own food, and so water is the most vital thing to humans, we all know. So they're finishing the dam, and well, that will be the end of the human race as we know it. We will all then be, well, not me, but anyone who submits will be slaves, which will probably be 90% of the world, since 90% of the world is being raped right now, and that stupid 10% is just in the dark, you know, and the U.S. just sifting away, watching TV or whatever the heck they do, watching ball games. And that is how the pyramid works. That's how the pyramid works. You have people that don't really, that are fed information from one top source, instead of looking around, going to country, understanding how impoverished everyone is, and all they do is go back home, sit back and watch TV, or go to a ball game. No, that is not how the world would be saved. The world would be saved when all of us true humans, are fearless. You must not fear God, you must not fear life, you must not fear death. If you are fearless, then you are true. And if you are true to yourself, then you are fearless. This is all the same thing. Definity, D-E-F-I-N-I-T-Y. Definity, the process of defining things, is only an illusion that almost all organisms, you would assume, go through. But if you look out to the galaxies, to the stars, you will see that everything is the same. All elements are made out of the same protons, neutrons, and electrons. The fact that one element has another, the number of protons defines how many, what kind of elements an atom is. So if you take away one proton, it's a different element, right? And so there are scientists all over the world right now, you can look it up, that are changing one element into another just by removing or putting in another proton. And so you see, definity, the ability to define things, this illusion, it's an illusion. It's not real. It is just something that I guess organisms inhabit by simply being organisms. But if we look out into the galaxies, we will see that everything is the same. And so we must be fearless. We must not fear life. We must not fear death. We must not fear God. And if we are fearless, we are true. And if we are fearless, if we do not fear, if we are fearless, we are God. And so we cannot be deterred by any other human or any other life form or organism that we know of. If we cannot be deterred by any other human, then we will do what is right no matter what. And that is to be godlike. If you do not fear, then you can never be deterred. And we must not fear. We must go out and act now, before the 2012 conspiracy, before the solar flares erupt in 2012, which are just a cover-up for the governments to fry all of our electrical equipment, like 9/11 terrorism was a cover-up to destroy the 3 towers. Yes, I said 3, because Tower 7 was clearly a controlled demolition. If you look back at the tapes, you will see this, and that's why they only talk about 2 towers. We cannot allow this to happen anymore. We must act now or forever hold our peace. Last humans are on this earth, and they need our help, so we must help them. We must erase government and all corporations. Now,